Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about cinematic lighting, how to light a night scene part 2, which is completely separate than part 1. Once again, we're in a music video, and just to give you some background, we are in a hotel, the Address Hotel downtown. It's night, we're trying to light up the subject, and we've got a lot of bokeh background blur, but our subject is very dark. So I'm going to show you guys how to light it using a basic 3-point lighting setup, and I'm going to show you how we used this Sandmarc RGB LED light to our advantage. Very useful little light, small but very powerful and practical. So I'm going to show you guys how we use this on a professional set and how helpful it was. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing to keep in mind is our subject. First thing we did is we used our our key light, which was a Godox SL160 with a softbox 90 centimeters. Keep in mind that the wider or the bigger the softbox, the softer the diffusion, the closer it is to the subject, also the more diffusion. So we were using a 90 centimeter, but it was looking very harsh, very artificial. We added double diffusion. It was on the lowest setting possible, but it was still very harsh. So what did we do? We started to add some lights. So it is a 3-point lighting setup. So the second thing we did is we added our rim light, which was placed at a 45-degree angle behind the subject, just like the key light, which was also 45 degrees, but in front of the subject. As a creative choice, I opted to place the light in frame. You can have it very hidden out of frame or higher up, more to the side. I chose to keep it in frame. It kind of gives it a nice little look and effect. I also added a yellow gel on it. It may seem counterintuitive why I'd add a yellow gel, because we're trying to create some separation, but our subject is within the yellow orangish hue, and we added a yellow gel. But I'll explain why I did that in just a little bit. So we added our rim light, which was a Sukani, very cool little light. Might talk about it in a future video. Once again with a yellow gel. And that was adding a nice rim light to our subject right behind him. So it was outlining him, separating him from the background, and really creating a nice 3-dimensional image and giving us some really nice depth. So our image was starting to look nicer over there, but it just was not really quite there. It kind of fell flat in terms of contrast. We have a lot of background blur in the background, so it was very nice just because of the whole downtown, the city lights at night. So what we did next is we added our third light, which was this little bad boy right here, the Sandmarc RGB LED. And the beautiful thing about this is you can dial in different hues and saturation. So you can pick from pretty much, the choices are unlimited. We went for a bluish greenish hue. We kept it on the side, a bit to the bottom of our subject, and it was casting some nice blue color to the side of him, opposite to the side of our rim light. So that was creating some nice interesting contrast, color contrast. We have yellow on one side, we have our blue/green on the right side, and that was really creating a nice image. So now we got some color contrast going on. And this thing right here, we used it without the diffusion. It does come with a silicone diffuser. Also, just to keep in mind that Sandmarc did send me this to test out. But other than that, this review is completely unbiased. But from our test, we used this on a single take, which took about an hour to an hour and a half. And this held on pretty well. Our total usage for this was about 2 hours, and it still has battery on it. I haven't charged it yet. The build quality, by the way, on this is really amazing. I don't want to overexpose this image over here, but here it is, still the same color. Beautiful little light, a lot of adjustments. It's still on 50% batteries after 2 hours of use. So great little light to have. You can mount it on camera. You can use it the same way we did. Very practical. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Once again, thanks to Sandmarc for sending this over. But back to our video. So we use this light to create a more contrast to our image, by having that blue on one side and yellow on the other side. So even though our image at the beginning started to look very artificial just by having our first light, by adding our rim light and our practical/motivated light on the other side, we started to have a more aesthetically pleasing looking image. So you can see how colors and multiple lights can really help bring your image to life. The light that we use on the side, which is the Sandmarc, it's more of a practical / motivated light. It's motivated by the city lights, since the whole area in the back is lit by multiple LEDs. So it can serve as a motivated light from the ambience of the place. So it really works as both a practical or ambient, you know, motivated light, even though the practical was not really showing in frame. But yeah, there were actually lights on the floor, so it was motivated from these, but we turned those off because the direction of it wasn't really coming from the way that we wanted it, where we positioned our subject. So we kind of used this, just move it to the side and pretend like it was coming from the floor. So yeah, very useful little light. Basic 3-point lighting setup, not really much going on, but it's very fundamental to know when to use the light, what angulation to have it, what colors to use, gels, all that kind of good stuff. So very basic, but you know, small changes make a huge impact. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I will have more lighting tutorials in the future. As for this light, there will be a link in the description to check it out. Highly recommend it. The build quality is amazing in comparison to other lights that I've tried. This has them beat. I was really impressed by the build quality of this. And it's got a small LCD screen as well. You can mount it over your camera. You can use it as practical light. You can use it as a rim light, key light, whatever. Beautiful little light. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.